So again guys, what I want to do today is actually show you guys a way to basically get some healthy food and actually just change it up a little bit. So of course we're shopping with Pro Cut Meats. We've got his grass-fed ultra lean beef rissoles here, and what we've done guys, we've actually pulled those apart and made them into small little meatballs. Okay, now of course the trick with this is being convenient. Okay, so I know a lot of you guys are very time poor. You've got your classes, you've got your kids, you've got your work, so on and so forth. So it's really important we do this quickly. So what I've done is I've taken some shortcuts, but it doesn't mean you have to actually shortcut on quality, just on time. Okay, so in the meantime guys, I've actually gone ahead and actually diced up some fresh oregano. Okay, now I will be honest with you, in this case I've actually gone and got some packet basil. Unfortunately Coles this evening was actually out of fresh basil, so I have used packet basil. I've got some of the gold and red Solano tomatoes. They're actually our favorite tomatoes here in this household. We love these because they do actually have a fantastic flavor to them, and they're very sweet. I've got some from already pre-sliced mushrooms as well, but guys, I've also got some organic tinned tomatoes. Now I actually learned this trick from Jamie Oliver. He said on one of his programs once that the way to get the freshest tomatoes in a tin is to buy the whole peeled tomatoes, because of course as they dice them the quality goes down. So guys, if you want to get tinned tomatoes and you're looking for quality, grab the organic whole peeled tomatoes and then just crush them yourself, and you'll get the best you can out of a tin. Now guys, we're going to actually serve this this mix up on some brown rice. Now in the sake of time saving again, I've actually got the organic sunrise brown rice. Now I do want to touch on this. This particular rice here is the only rice in that 90-second quick serve rice which is actually cooked in water. So the way to check that, spin it around. On the ingredients you'll see down there, so ingredients are brown rice and water. In most cases, this particular style of rice, this 90-second quick cook rice, is cooked in sunflower oil. So it's really important guys, we try and choose this one in particular, the sunrise organic brown rice is cooked in water. Now the other organic range from this range is actually cooked in oil as well. It's just this particular one. So sunrise brown rice organic quick packets, the tins of tomato, the grass-fed lean beef rissoles from Pro Cut, the mushrooms, the Solano tomatoes, and of course the oregano and the basil. So guys, I'm gonna chuck them on the stove now and give them a bit of a quick brown. Cheers. So guys, what I'm doing now is just grabbing the small meatballs I've made previously, chucking them into the pan. They won't be in very long. It's going to just be a bit of a brown, okay? So obviously we want to actually simmer these in the tomatoes, okay? So we'll pop those in. Now, as I said before, we're not looking for a full cook, so it's not drastic that they all have like heaps of space on the bottom, because we'll be moving them around very quickly just to get them brown. Most of the cooking will be done, one left over. Most of the cooking will be done in the actual tomato sauce itself. I'm gonna crack that up, guys. Get the tongs. As I say, guys, this is purely just to brown the meat. So I'll tune back in, guys, with you guys when these are actually turned and rotated. Cheers. Okay, so guys, they've been flipped. Now basically we're going to add the whole peeled tomatoes. Now the way to do this is pretty much pour them through your hands. Make sure your hands are clean, of course. Pour them through your hands and then literally crush them as they pour through the hands. And then we're immediately going to add the mushrooms, because the mushrooms take a little bit longer to cook, especially in that simmering sauce, okay? So like as I said, it is messy work, but somebody's got to do it. Straight into the hand. And then just crush, shit. Just gently crush that in over the tomatoes. Okay. Get the second tin. Now, of course, you can use one tin if you like. I'm going to simmer this down for, I wouldn't say substantial amount of time, but a decent amount of time. So I'm going to use 2 tins. And of course, we're going to use brown rice, which will absorb a lot of the fluid as well to give it that extra flavor. Now, you have to stress though, these rissoles we're using from Pro Cuts are exceptionally lean, okay? So there's no binding agent in them, okay? So you need to make sure you're very, very, very gentle with them. You don't want to be too rough, otherwise they'll start to break apart and you basically end up with bolognese. All right, so it is really, really careful. You do be very, very careful. I'll just wash my hands, guys. As I said, we're straight in with the mushrooms, guys. Straight in. I'm also going to add the herbs now as well, and then I'm basically going to give those a very gentle stir. However, I've just realized I've not pulled out a spatula, so I will very quickly grab a spoon. So very carefully, guys, just like a cake, like a pudding, you're folding that in, and that is my dishwasher going off in the background there. Okay, we're literally just folding that in, guys, making sure you get everything around, but it is very, very gentle. Okay, now you'll see instantly the heat is dispersed amongst those rissoles, those meatballs, I should say. Okay. Now it's pretty simple, sort of, guys. I'm going to pop that lid straight on and turn the heat up, and let that sit there for quite a while, probably sort of 5 to 6 minutes, and then come back and actually take the lid off and let that tomato juice actually boil itself off before I add the diced tomatoes, because of course we don't want them to be soggy, we want them to be actually pieces inside the actual dish themselves as well. Alright guys, live with me. Okay guys, so that's been there for about 5 minutes or so, and I'm going to put the rice in the microwave. Now, I'm sure you've all used this type of rice before, but it's super simple to use. Just tear the corner. Now we've got 16 miniature rissoles in there, which is a little over 4.5. So I'm actually going to use 2 packets, but obviously not use the whole packet. What I'll do is I'll just pop this off. Now, guys, in between the filming portions, I actually did open this up and add some cracked pepper and some fresh sea salt in there as well, just for flavor. I didn't think you guys needed to see that. I'm sure you all know how to add salt and pepper to a dish. Alright, so I'm going to put these rices on, guys. Now, they'll take 3.5 minutes collectively. So in the interim, as I said before, I took the top off. Now it's time to actually boil down the liquid. Now, you'll notice I put those tomatoes in. I haven't used the whole packet of the Solano tomatoes, simply because I don't think you need that much tomato, is the honest answer. You'll also find when you do go to Coles, or if you shop at Coles, you would have seen these tomatoes, they come in both gold, red as well. Now, we typically buy the half and halves. It's just a color thing. It's not anything to do with the actual tomato itself. It's purely the fact that, honestly, I like the contrasting colors. My dad always taught me that you eat with your eyes first. So that's the reason I buy the gold tomatoes, nothing else. Okay, guys, I'm gonna let that simmer down. Well, not simmer down, boil down, I should say. And when it starts to get a bit thicker, I'll bring you back online. Cheers. All right, guys, so that's, as you can see, that's quite substantially reduced. Now, I haven't actually boiled it down as much as I'd like generally, but I don't want to burn the tomato, so I've actually just turned the heat off. I've grabbed the rice out of the microwave and I've put a little bit more into a bowl. So it's as simple, guys, as just finding the meatballs. Now, I like to get a little bit of meat, a little bit of sauce with each meatball. That way you're getting, spreading the love a little bit. Now, last time I spoke to Dave, he told me that these rissoles are approximately about 160 grams a piece. So guys, my partner Shay, she eats quite well, to be honest, but one rissole will do for her, so that's 4 meatballs, and I'll give her a little bit of the sauce on top to mix through. And guys, that's the dish, nice and simple, super simple. Some brown rice, some super lean beef mince made into rissoles or small meatballs, some tomato puree from a tin, some herbs and spices, of course, fresh where you can, some tomatoes, and of course some mushroom as well. Super simple, guys. Hope you enjoyed the meals. Yeah, give it a try. Cheers.